Alright, man, let's do a Paramore tier list. So in the last video, my Metallica vid, I was a little harsh, so I thought I'd talk about a band that I actually do really like. I've been meaning to talk about this band for a while, actually, because to be honest with you, they're one of my favorites. I actually didn't really know what to expect going into their catalog, but I came out the other end really enjoying it. So let's just do it, man. Let's go. Starting us off at the bottom, in D tier, we have Riot. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. When I was like first getting into music, I actually really tried to get into Paramore with this one album. And to be honest with you, I wasn't the biggest fan. I thought that Hayley Williams' vocals were really great, and I thought the production was okay. But it just all kind of sounded like the same song, besides like Misery Business and the opener. So I kind of just didn't get into them after that. I was just like, that album was whatever, man. All the songs sound the same. And coming back to it now, I still kind of have similar feelings on it. I do love Misery Business as well as the opening track, but other than that, there's nothing really here. The hooks are really great, and I think, as I said, the production is cool, but every song on here just kind of sounds the same still, and there's no huge highlights out of those two tracks. It's still solid though, it's a decent listen that I still do get enjoyment out of. They just have better records, and honestly, this album is just kind of boring as all. I'm feeling like a light to decent 6 on this. It's cool, it's quality, but like, it doesn't compare to the other records, man. Then we got All We Know Is Falling, which is going to go in C tier. This is kind of between B and C, to be honest with you. This is basically just Riot, but with a messier sound, and to be honest with you, I think it has more character because of that. I think this one is definitely kind of bookended weird. The beginning and end are kind of weak, but the middle part is really good. And while I feel like dated is usually a term that's used to like, oh, this album just, it sounds so bad in comparison to now. Like take 80s era Pink Floyd, a lot of people say that's dated and kind of criticize it because of that. But here I feel like All We Know Is Falling is dated in a good way. Like it sounds like the cover. It sounds like a 2000s teeny bopper rom-com movie or like mid-2000s MTV. I don't know why I think that. I don't know. It just the color palette of it, the sound, the vocals. I don't know. It just has that dated sound that I honestly really like for some reason. It's a good debut. Pretty good debut, actually, despite its issues. It's like a strong 7 for me. I really enjoy this one. Then let's shoot right into A tier with This Is Why, their latest record. To be honest with you, I really appreciate how much Paramore changes their sound on this record. Like their first 4 records are like more pop punk, kind of rock sounding albums, and then they go with After Laughter, which is a straight up like new wave synth pop album, and then they give you a post punk record with This Is Why. This record is really consistent and really fun as well. My main problem comes in the form of hooks on here. Tracks like The News and the one with the title that I can't pronounce too well just have hooks that really, I don't know, halt the song. They just kind of ruin the momentum that they have is all. The hooks themselves aren't even bad. They just, as I said, halt the tracks. Everything else though is actually pretty good. And all really sounds good too. Like the production on here just sounds really clean. Hayley's vocals are great as always. Just the hooks aren't my only problem. This record slaps though. It's like a light to decent 9 for me. I really enjoy this one. Above that though, we have Brand New Eyes. Now my main problem with Riot, as I said, is that all the songs kind of sound the same. The hooks are great though, and the vocals are fantastic as always. What Brand New Eyes succeeds in is adding more diversity to the track list, as well as I think shortening it. All of this makes it just feel like a better, more put together version of Riot. The track list is insanely consistent. Every part of this record is just so good. And I think this would probably be my favorite Paramore album if they didn't take this same pop punk sound and do it better later. As is though, this is still one of their best records and a genuinely fantastic album too. It's like a light to decent 9 for me, maybe a decent 9 actually. Yeah, this record is amazing. Above that though, in S tier, we have After Laughter. This is their venture into new wave and it works fantastically. The vocals and the production just pair so well and make for a really fun album. I will say though, my favorite part about this record is how the lyrics and production clash so much. Hayley will be singing about how she wants to die over the happiest instrumental you've ever heard in the band's catalog. It's dark, but I think it's honestly kind of funny. Lyrics aside though, this might be their most fun album. Just the way they took that old 80s new wave sound. They just play with it so well, and it's honestly really hard to not enjoy. I hope that on their next record, whenever that may be, they change up their sound again, because just what they're doing right here, going from like pop punk to, as I said, new wave and then post punk, it's just really fun to watch, you know? After Laughter is a decent to strong 9. I really enjoy this album. And then above that, man, we have their self-titled album. I adore this record, man. This was the last Paramore album I listened to because it was like an hour long. I was like, oh my god, this is gonna drag. One of the reasons why I like Brand New Eyes so much is because it was perfectly paced. There was no filler on it. So I was kind of nervous, like, what are they gonna do here, you know? Is it gonna get old? And no. This is 1 full hour of peak. There are no misses on here, man. No misses. Every hook, all the vocals, all the production, man, is fantastic. They take that pop punk sound and add so much personality to it that I just can't not enjoy it. And man, when you listen to that closer, I was not expecting that. Okay, that closer is post-rock. I'm sorry. It's post-rock, and I did not expect it. You get all these just explosive tracks, Fast in My Car. Ain't it fun, bro? Oh my God. It was so good. And then they just give you that closer that just blows you away, man. And it was, oh my God, this album's fantastic, man. I'm not even going to joke. This is 10. Like people are going to say, hey, man, Paramore, man, they're pop punk, man. Pop punk is for babies. I'm going to be like, no. Because this album is genuinely one of the best rock albums I've ever heard in my entire life. You're going to be like, oh, what have you heard? Have you heard this? Have you heard that? I don't care. This album is fantastic and is perfect. Perfect album. It's a 10. Fat 10. And there's my Paramore tier list, man. I had a lot of fun doing this. I love Paramore, man. As I said, they're one of my favorite bands. And I can't wait to see what they do next. So, yeah. Share your rankings in the comments as always. Glad you made it this far in the video, man. And I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.